Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe it's already been a full month of homeschool. It just feels like time's been flying, but I just want to sit down, have a little mom chat with you guys, share what's been working, what I've had to change, and then I also have a really exciting homeschool update that I think you guys are gonna love. Now, before we jump in, grab a cup of coffee or tea, whatever you like to drink, and let's just take a deep breath, because I know homeschool can be a lot, but you guys, it is so worth it, so rewarding, and so I hope you guys find this video helpful, and I'm just gonna kind of take you guys through our month recap. Okay, so first let's start with what's working. You guys, this year has felt so peaceful. And now I am coming to you, my daughter is in 4th grade, and this is the first year that I have truly felt peace in our homeschool. And I think it came from honestly just cultivating this culture of peace in our home. So if you guys follow me on social media, in August I took like a big social media break besides here on YouTube, but like I deleted Instagram, I deleted Facebook, and I really just tried to hone in on our family rhythms, get rid of the distraction. I did not realize how much time I was spending on my phone. Even just quick, little like glimpses into Instagram during the day, or whatever, just scrolling when I'm nap trapped, and I just found that I was on social media too much. And my life already felt pretty chaotic. We have twins, and then I have a 5-year-old and 10-year-old. And so everything, like our days were already feeling so chaotic. And then I was adding the weight of social media and just reading, bad news after bad news. And just, I felt like it was just contributing to this whole spiral effect of my anxiety. And so really just getting rid of that, taking a break, and just kind of rediscovering like our family rhythm. For the first week of our homeschool, I did like a mock-up schedule. I put it on our fridge, and I jotted down notes throughout the days to say like, this is the sweet spot when I feel like more lessons can take place because the babies are more content at that point. We need to do this during this time. And so I did like this whole mock-up, and I realized that like, number one, time schedules don't work in our family. We just don't do well, but we do so well with rhythms where my kids know what to expect, when to expect it, but it's more like loose-ended. So with my type A perfectionist personality, I cannot have like time schedules. It kind of just adds too much weight and pressure. So I did more of like time blocks. So like we have like our morning time. So our morning time is so sacred. Like I feel like morning time sets the tone for your whole day. If you take any nugget from this video, I'm telling you, get your morning routine together. I feel like your kids, when you set them up for success in the morning, it just kind of ripple effects into your day. So we start super simple. We do Bible and breakfast. So my kids aren't like ready to just dive right into work in the morning. That's never really been something. Like my daughter likes to come out and lay on the couch because she's not a morning person. And I get that because I'm not either. I need to have some coffee and wake up before I start my day. So just really listening to your family and figuring out the rhythms that, will be sustainable, I guess. So from there, we go right into our morning time block for like getting our house prepped. So we make our beds, I get the kids to get dressed, I kind of do my first like reset run of the house. So I start my first load of laundry, and then I do the dishes, I get the dishwasher going, and then from there we get outside for daily movement. That has probably been a game changer. I was not one that wanted to like get right outside in the morning because I felt like, let's stay inside, get everything done, and then we go outside. But having a 5-year-old son who gets super antsy during lessons, I realized in that first week, hey, we need to be moving first so he can get a lot of that energy out and a lot of, his antsiness, and then we can dive into his lessons. And I have noticed, he's a kindergartner, but I have noticed a huge difference since doing that. Okay, and then if everything goes well on those walks, then we get back, the babies will lay down for their first nap of the day, and then I do lessons with my big kids. So my big kids have really been enjoying reading and math lately, and I think it's because I lessen the load. I used to, because I always feel like I've been in catch up with my daughter who's in 4th grade, because we repeated kindergarten, and then we started the Good and the Beautiful, and we did the preschool, then we did kindergarten prep, and then we did kindergarten. It was like we've been so behind, I feel like, on lessons, and I don't know why I'm comparing it to being behind. Like, I preach that, yet I feel that, you know, like, don't feel like you're kind of having to match up to other people, like, just, you know, I don't know, I'm preaching to myself again, but I feel like because I lessened the load, and we do one lesson a day for math, one lesson a day for reading, it's like, okay, we're done, we get it done, and my kids have been enjoying that. It gives me more time to be one-on-one with each of them. So I feel like just creating that simplicity around your just regular subjects. Sometimes I feel like we do so much curriculum, and then you kind of lose that connection with your kids. So this year I've been preaching to myself again, more connection over curriculum. The curriculum's there, it's so helpful, it's such a, you know, useful tool, but don't let it take away from the connection that you build day in and day out with just everyday things. So reading and math. And then my daughter, she has her independent time chunk. So again, she's in 4th grade, so she jumps right into her independent review of that lesson while I do my son's work, and then I do lessons with her. And then that gives him time to kind of go off and play for a bit, and then we gather back for lunchtime. The twins by that point are awake, we do lunch all together, and then we do a read aloud. So either I'll be reading while I'm cooking lunch, or I even have had my daughter read to us. So just different things like that. Not every day looks exactly the same, because we are, you know, I do have twins, and we do just have, you know, different things going on. But for the most part, that is like kind of our rhythm of the morning block. Okay, and then after lunch, I like to do either art or crafts, something of that nature. So the kids come back together, I have something for them, and that just gives me that reset, because now they can do something, you know, at the counter, and it keeps their hands busy. They're not making a ton of messes throughout the house that I'm gonna have to reset before dinner. And I think just having those activities on hand has been helpful, prepping them ahead of time, and it's simple. Like on Friday, we painted trees, and we just used cotton balls, and I made like taste safe paint for the babies to use, and then the big kids did theirs. And it just, honestly, I was never one that liked to do crafts because I was, you know, fearful of the mess, but it has brought a lot more joy into our days, so I like to do those. We also break out and do yoga sometimes. It just really depends on what I'm feeling for that week, but we basically have like that art block there in the afternoon after lunch, and that gives me time while they're doing their crafts to clean up from lunch, reset for dinner. And then the kids, let me show you guys these. Okay, so these are the kids' chore charts. These have made a huge difference. We actually use Greenlight for their weekly allowance, but when I did that digital detox in August, my daughter actually gave up her tablet too. So we do have iPads for the kids. They use Osmo games, Minno, different things like that. Minno's a Christian streaming app, which I do actually have a link for you to get a week free trial if you want to check that out in the description. But we've used iPads, we've used electronics, and when we did that digital detox in August, I realized how many behaviors my son was having that kind of went away because he was getting less screen time. So that was also a benefit of that. So anyway, I ended up printing these so that way they could still do their allowance, and I just upload their like progress on Greenlight myself. That way they still get their weekly pay. But I like to have this visual. I'm a checkbox type of person, so I actually have my task on the fridge too, and monkey see, monkey do, they like to do what mom does. So you know, simple things. They have their chores, and they know what's expected of them. Another thing that has been working that's helped so much is I used to schedule things like our chiropractor appointments and things like that just whenever throughout the week, because hey, we homeschool and our schedule's flexible, and I realized that created a lot more pressure, more for me. So we keep everything to Fridays. Fridays are our like appointment day, it's our baking day, our fun Friday day, and we do science that day. I love that so much. Like that really, so we have a 4-day schedule, and then we have like our Fridays be more loose, more fun, so the kids really look forward to that. Obviously, if lessons don't get done during the week, they're gonna miss out on Fun Friday and they'll be catching up work there. But for the most part, having those appointments on Fridays, grocery shopping on Fridays, all of those things have helped versus me just kind of going out in the middle of the week because we're home, and then it kind of would leave us having to catch up. So that's something I realized with a lot of trial and error, is like when I would do, you know, like run out to the grocery store on a Monday because we needed food or whatever like that, future me was like, hey, now we're behind and it feels like we're trying to catch up. So just kind of sticking with the regular daily rhythms, and that way too your kids know what to expect each day, and they're going to show up better and, you know, be more obedient to those things when they're doing them every single day. Now, of course not everything went that perfect. There's been things that we've had to tweak and change. Hence, I did that schedule, that mock-up for the first week, because I knew that my good intentions looked good on paper. That schedule, those, you know, time blocks, everything looked good, but was it gonna flow smoothly with 4 kids? Homeschooling with toddlers, especially twins, is not for the faint-hearted. That has been such a learning curve for me. There's days where I feel like, am I cut out for this? But the Lord always provides and, you know, helps me to get through those hard days, especially when, you know, I have extra clingy twin babies. But there were definitely things we had to tweak, and so I'm going to show you some of the things we had to change. Okay, so one of the things I realized in the first week was trying to jam pack too much before lunch. Like trying to be extra productive in the morning, because that's like, you know, when the coffee's flowing, I'm feeling motivated. But I was realizing that the little ones were getting too tired. There wasn't enough connection with the twins, so they were feeling extra clingy to me. So giving like my big kids that independent morning time block allows me and frees me up to spend some quality time with the twins. So if you're homeschooling with toddlers, sometimes they're just seeking that connection with you first. So if you're trying to homeschool right from the morning, and I did this with my son when he was a toddler, I would just jump right into lessons with my daughter, and with him, he would lay down for a morning nap, so it was a little bit easier. My twins, they don't lay down, and I realize that they'll be at the gate screaming and crying while we're trying to do lessons, and no one's happy at that point. We don't want to listen to them scream and cry. You know, that upsets mom, that upsets my kids. The babies are upset, so I had to figure out something for my big kids to be doing independently, because I do like to get their hands started right away in the morning, so that way they're not going off playing and getting too involved in an activity where they don't want to come back to the table to do schoolwork. So giving them their Bible and breakfast, and then they have their independent stuff. So my son works on his handwriting and his name, and my daughter works on her Bible and her Bible devotion book, and then she starts her independent thing. So like having those things gives me that time to connect with the babies before they just, you know, lose me with lessons with my big kids. Now, that's really, I feel like, the only thing that I had to change, and just giving my daughter more time blocks. My daughter likes to procrastinate a lot, something I've noticed. Like, it takes her a lot longer to do her schoolwork than my son, and her reasoning is always, well, mine's harder, or, you know, he doesn't have as much. So just I like to do visual things, so a visual timer, and giving her those time chunks so she knows, like, okay, you have 15 minutes to complete this. And I don't put a ton of pressure, but like, hey, this is what I expect, so you're not just sitting there, you know, dilly-daddling or whatever. That was another thing I had to change, and I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, schedule. So like my homeschool scheduling book, I used to write out our schedule ahead of time. Something I've done differently this year that I really like is I write it down as we go. So instead of like having all of these lesson plans before the day starts, because I don't know what every day is going to bring, I actually jot down what we do on that day, and that way I'm still keeping record. I still have my plans, but it's actually like as it unfolds versus having like this, you know, like where I have to erase things and change things nonstop. So that has helped me a lot too. Okay, now as promised, I have such an exciting update for you guys. Honestly, I got this and I've been busting at the seams to share it with y'all, but The Good and the Beautiful actually just launched their History 2. So a few videos back I shared when they released the first history, and we've been doing it. We love it. My husband actually does it with us on Sundays. They have a like activity book that goes along with it for K through 2nd. So he breaks off and does it with my son, and then I do the 3rd through 6th Explorer book with my daughter. But we have loved it so much, and I got a first look at their newest, so it's year 2 version of this. So like I said, they have the activity book there for the K through 2nd, and then they have their Explorer books. So exciting. I also wanted to share that The Good and the Beautiful has a promotion going on right now too, with free shipping over $75. So if you guys want to check that out, save some extra money, go ahead and look at the link in my description. When you guys click that link, that helps me so much. It helps support my little family here, but it also lets The Good and the Beautiful know that I sent you. So that's very helpful for me if you guys do that and do decide to purchase from there. But I wanted to take you guys through just a quick inside look. If you guys have any questions about this, definitely leave in the comments, and I'll get back to y'all in a timely manner. Now, if you guys have been here a while, you know we've loved using The Good and the Beautiful. So this is the activity book I was talking about for grades K through 2nd. They also have Explorer books. So this one in particular is the grades 3 through 6. So it's just activities that you work through with the history lesson. And then they have their Maps and Images book, History Stories, and then the Year 2 course book. So amazing. I love this curriculum so much. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful. That was our first month in a nutshell. A little bit messy, a lot of grace, and overall good. And I think that's just because I finally found peace in our home. Now, you guys, this isn't something that just happens overnight. This was a lot of prayer and a lot of time and just discernment from the, discerning what the Lord wanted me to do. And so when I quieted the noise and I let go of the distractions and I really got out of that comparison trap from our homeschool, like, your homeschool's not going to look like everyone else's because your family is different. You have different things going on in your life. I think when you do that, I think that really does build that peace in your home, in your homeschool, and you don't have to have it all figured out. God meets us in the middle, even in those chaotic homeschool days. So I just want to leave you encouraged there, and I hope you guys found this video helpful. Now, before I let you guys go, I will link the History 2 in this description of this video, along with the free shipping promo. And I wanted to hear from you guys in the comments. Sometimes I feel like as a collective, it's so nice to hear other people's experiences and thoughts, especially if it's more ideal to your situation. So leave in the comments what's been working in your homeschool this month, and then what you've had to adjust. That'd be so helpful. I love to read through those, and hopefully you guys find this video helpful. Hopefully you leave here encouraged. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, maybe share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe. That way you don't miss future videos like this one. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.